Hey guys, isnortbooze here with Betcoin Poker with another episode of Tipsy Talk. One of the most important factors to improving and progressing your poker skills is the mental game. Not just the psychological aspect of competition, but staying in the proper frame of mind to make optimal decisions and play your best game 100% of the time. Today's guest has dedicated his life to helping poker players get into that frame of mind. I'd like to give a special welcome to hypnotherapist and poker mindset coach, Elliot Roe. Thanks so much for joining us, Elliot.
Hey, man. Thank you for the intro.
Absolutely, man. Good to have you.
Yeah,
dude. So why don't you start out by just telling us a little bit about how you got started in this very unique field?
So I'm a hypnotherapist. Previously, I've been working with golfers, helping them with golf, and one of my friends was working in the poker industry and said it'd be a good idea if I tried to work with poker players because tilt is a big issue, and that if you can help people reduce stress, it's something that might be really valuable. And I think that was in 2011, and I started working with people just through 2+2, and I started working with people for free just to see if it worked, and everything went really well. And then I started taking on more and more poker clients above almost anything else, and now things have gone really, really well, and I'm sort of doing probably 80% poker. Then I do some Olympic athletes, I do some UFC fighters, some stock traders, some people like that as well, but predominantly poker. A lot of the time helping some of the guys playing the highest stakes, helping them prep before tournaments or work through any issues they may be having, mindset issues at the table. So yeah, that's sort of from the background to what's going on right now.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, I first heard about you a couple years ago. I actually got you have that 7-minute free tilt buster on your website. It's still up there, which is it helps calm me down during breaks, when I'm getting a little steamed or something like that. But you do have a full series of audio clips. MTT warm-up, MTT final table, cash game, live game, online game, post-game cooldown. Have you put in some time at the tables? Like, how do you have like a different thing for every scenario?
Well, basically what happened is I started off with 1 or 2 MP3s, and then I kept getting requests, and that was like 2011 I started with those, and each year I get people asking for these different specific issues, and I'm obviously working on those issues every day with people, so I understand the problems if someone's struggling with study, or if someone's struggling with focus issues at the table, or they can't do bankroll management, or whatever it might be. So the sort of advice that I'm giving people in the one-to-one sessions, I add to those hypnotherapy MP3s. So it's like a shorter, suggestion-based hypnotherapy MP3 trying to deal with these single issues, and every year that library seems to grow and grow. Yeah,
so you definitely have learned your way around the industry.
Yeah. I speak about poker more than I think anyone in the world. And ironically, I barely play. But I talk about poker probably 8 to 10 hours a day.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
A lot of the players on the site that I'm representing, Betcoin, they ask me, what the best way to deal with downswings is. My best advice usually, keep putting in the volume while still, maintaining your game, a high-level game. How would you approach this type of question?
Well, the first issue is making sure you've had proper bankroll management. So making sure you're in a situation where you're not actually putting yourself at risk, and there's enough time to actually make your money back. So that's the first thing, making sure that you're playing the right stakes. A lot of guys really struggle to move down in stakes when they should, and that's something that's really key, is accepting that yes, it's great when you're moving up, but you also have to start moving down if your bankroll changes. So that's important, and then just accept it's a long-term game. So long as you're rolled for it, it's not a problem. So accept it's a long-term game. You're looking for quarterly results and annual results. You're not looking for results in a single session or over a week or over 2 weeks. If you're having bad results over an extended period, you're probably not as good as you think you are, and you should be looking at getting coaching, and you should be working on your game. A lot of guys come to me and they're saying, I'm playing great poker, but I'm losing. oftentimes I'll then get them in touch with a technical coach, and it will turn out they weren't actually playing very well, and that's why they were losing. Sure. So, be humble about it as well. If it's a short-term downswing, fair enough, but if you're talking months and months, probably there's some work to do on your technical game.
Yeah, so let's say we're talking about a solid recreational player. What would you say like the biggest things holding them back are from going pro or full-time besides bankroll management?
I would say one is just making sure you don't have those tilt sessions. So you're not having the sessions where you go completely away from game plan and just for fun tilt away a few buy-ins. Another thing is just level of study and how seriously they take it. I mean, certainly the guys I work with, it's a bit different because a lot of the guys I work with are sort of playing the very high stakes, but they take it very seriously as like it's a professional sport. So they've got pre-game warm-ups, they're studying, perhaps 10 to 12 hours a week. They're playing certain games at certain times of the day where they're making the most value. You really have to look at every possible edge at the moment to make money in the game and to make sure that you're competitive. So I would say think about anything you can do to optimize your poker and do all of those things, because all of these tiny edges add up and they can make a big difference.
Absolutely, man. So besides the MP3s, another product you offer is both private coaching as well as group training with the Poker Mindset Academy. You want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, so I offer one-to-one coaching, which is more like a form of therapy. I'm a hypnotherapist, but we're going into the reasons behind the problems at the table. So why you have focus issues, why you have self-sabotage issues, why you have gambling issues that are holding you back. So the one-to-one training is very personal, and then the Mindset Academy, we have a lot of video lessons on there. We have a Facebook group where people talk about their different issues and we help them work through it. And then we also run 3 webinars a month. There's one with me doing a Q&A, one where we bring on a well-known professional. We've had Matt Berkey, we've had Olivia Busquet, we've got Daniel Devores this month, and we've got a load of other pros lined up to do a monthly Q&A. And then we also do another one, which is a webinar on whatever the subject is. This month it was self-sabotage. The previous month it was preparing yourself for the Scoop series. So that's what we offer, and that's $55 a month.
Cool, man. I didn't write this question, but I'm just thinking of it as we're talking. You have such a soothing voice, man. I mean, is that part of like kind of what helped you go into hypnotherapy?
I'll be honest, I don't know. Sometimes you find the job that's right for you. I found the job that was right for me, and then when you're doing hypnotherapy, I think I probably end up sounding more soothing every year because of the nature of the work. So.
You're so relaxing, though, man. I'm like ready to go play now.
Yeah, chill.
So let's talk about the other side of your business, which is training, UFC fighters, like you said, golfers, finance guys. Obviously, each of those has their own series of stressors. Like, how does that compare to working with poker players?
It's almost identical, which is really interesting. So the sort of the anxiety issues that a poker player has who's going to a big final table are very close to the same sort of anxiety issues a professional fighter may have as they're entering the octagon. So it was quite surprising to me how similar all of these different sports have been in terms of the issues that show and the root causes of those problems as well. So there's not too much of a difference between those things.
Interesting. And then back to the poker side, I mean, you've worked with, legends like, Fedor Holz, Brian Rast, Jonathan Little. Who was your favorite pro to work with, and who would you say had the worst mental leaks before you got a hold of them?
I'll be honest. That's one of the questions. I can't talk about individual client stuff. It's confidential. Sorry, man. So I have to be boring, and I can't really go with those ones.
Understandable, man.
I've worked with a lot of great guys with lots of interesting stuff. But
That's the right answer. That's what I was looking for, man. Yeah. Good. You passed the test.
Yeah. I guess.
But speaking of Fedor, you guys are working together on Prime Mind now. It's a new app. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we've just launched an iPhone app and Android app called Primed Mind, which is my sessions, but instead of just for poker, it's for everything in life. So it's confidence, motivation for exercise, learning to relax fully, prepping yourself before you go for an exam or an interview or a date. And then we have this pro section where Fedor is one of the pros, and he's doing, so I wrote poker MP3s with Fedor, and then we have an esports guy, Nathan Smith, who I did esports ones with, and we're getting one of the UFC trainers is coming on. That's going to be launched soon. That's Dwayne Ludwig. And then we've got a bodybuilder on there as well, and we're just building up. So what it is that rather than me say I know exactly what someone needs in every sport, we bring on a professional from that area who really talks to me about what they need to be hearing before they go in and do that specific task, and then we write MP3s, and that's part of the product. You can download it for free, and there's a lot of free content, but the pro content you pay a subscription for.
Super cool. You mentioned exercise. How important would you say things like exercise and eating healthy are to being, a successful poker player in this day?
I think it's massive if you're playing at the highest stakes. It has an impact at all stakes, but obviously at the lower levels, you can have a bigger skill edge against your opponents. But once you reach the very highest level of the game, being able to focus longer is an important advantage to have over the field, and the guys who are in the best shape are able to sit there longer and focus for longer. So you'll notice if you look at the Super High Roller Bowl, nearly all of the guys in that are in good shape. Nearly all of them have a personal trainer. Most of them have been in the gym before they play each day. And there's a reason why all of the best players are doing it. With any sport, with any activity, the easiest way to get better is just look at what the best people in the game are doing and copy them. Almost all the guys at the top are doing this stuff. Copy them. There's a reason why they're doing it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I always found it funny. You go back to the 80s and 90s, and most of the pros. It's a bit of a stereotype where bigger, not necessarily the healthiest looking guys, and as poker has progressed over the last 20, 30 years, it's definitely become more people who are in shape, and obviously there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's like any sport. As things get more competitive and more professional, there are different ways of basically maximizing your advantage, and it's one of the advantages. So that's what guys are doing now. So if you're out there and you're looking for another edge, it's the easiest edge to get, because you don't have to do any studying. You just have to go for a run. I mean, that's it. So give it a try. Go for a half-hour run before your sessions and see what difference it makes.
Yeah, I actually put my computer up on the treadmill and
awesome.
grind while I play.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do more than 2 tables at once, but
but you play those great. So.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you're at your home base in Utah right now. Are you planning to go out for Vegas at all for the WSOP?
Yeah, I'm going to go out there. I think I'm going to go out there at the 10th. Meet up with. I've obviously got lots of clients in town at the moment. All of my sessions are done on Skype worldwide, so I'm based here and just still working from here. But I'm going to go out there and just say my hellos, and then I go out there a few times a year. I usually talk at Matt Berkey's Solve for Why academies, and I'll be there probably another 4 or 5 times this year working on those academies with them.
Sounds good, man. A couple fun questions for you. As you may have heard, my name on Betcoin is isnortbooze.
Right.
Drinking while playing, yay or nay?
Nay. Sorry.
I feel you, man. Definitely.
Well, depends if you want to win.
Yeah. No, I agree, man.
If you want to have fun and you want to get drunk, yeah, it's fine. But if you're looking to win, typically, unfortunately, I'm the boring one. It's stay sober, take the edge.
No, absolutely. That's obviously the smart way to go. And normally when I'm grinding, I will not drink at all. But then I have to stream a few days a week. So when I'm streaming, I'm just I get anxious. Having a couple drinks helps loosen me up a little bit. So it's kind of like a dichotomy for me.
Right.
but that's another. You passed the test with that one too, man.
Oh. Great.
And then one more obligatory question is: Betcoin is a Bitcoin-based site. Have you gotten a chance to get into Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency yet?
No, I'll be honest, I'm very frustrated I didn't. I had lots of people last year telling me it was what I should be doing, and I ignored them. and I cost myself a lot of money. So, yeah, it's something I'm looking at now.
Yeah, we all cost ourselves a little money. I think everyone pretty much has some sort of regret in that aspect. Well, you can find Elliot's selection of MP3s, including that 7-minute free tilt buster, at PokerMindCoach.com. You can find the Primed Mind app at the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. And once again, Elliot, thank you very much for joining us, man. It's been fun.
Hey, man, thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks.